Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me for yet another Makeover Monday here on, of course, Monday. It's the last day of March, is it not today?
Yep.
Of course, it's April 1st snow, so you know what that means. The last day of the month, we've managed to squeeze in a brand new launch from that wonderful brand, which is Cadence for you. I'm so excited to be taking you through the next 2 hours here today for, of course, a jam-packed show. Past couple of weeks, we've only been able to slot in 1 hour in the morning, of course, for your Makeover Monday. But you know what? We're going to spend a wonderful 2 hours together painting, exploring the beauty of this brand new paint in these colorways we've never had before here on Live Shopping. I'm so excited to share them with you. You may have seen over the weekend a little teaser of some of these being used, maybe across some of the samples that we've also been able to do as well. And of course, lots of your recent updates. You may have even seen it in your email or your newsletter as well. So, just before, of course, we get into all of our incredible deals and prices against this brand new Cadence paint, I'm just going to quickly share with you how to shop with us. I'll recap it throughout the show as well, because I've noticed this morning as well, there's a lot of brand new faces. May have joined us through, of course, visiting the team over in Exeter at the weekend. So it's wonderful to have your company. All you need to do to get involved and to get these products to your front door is type in the codes that we share with you. So if you're joining us on Facebook or Instagram, type in the codes that we share with you into the comments section. So for example, our top set of paints here is Shop Lavish, okay? Now, if you wanted to get hold of these, type that into the comments as you would saying hello, or of course commenting on a friend or family's Facebook post, anything like that. What happens is, as soon as you've typed in that shop comment, you will receive a direct message. It will reserve it into your basket. And then when this show comes to an end, so of course today at 1 o'clock, my watch is wrong, of course, then you need to check out. So you click on the link inside your messages. It'll redirect you to the Highlight Crafts website. Then you can log into your Highlight Crafts account, which you need to make sure that you're doing to get your extra discounts and all of your latest updates and benefits, all that sort of stuff, and your free postage over £35. Then you can check out. Talking of the website as well, we are streaming live on there. For those of you who don't do social media, not an issue. You can still, of course, get joined in, involved with all of the fun and interaction on our website, and you can also shop ahead as well, which makes it an incredible experience for each and every one of you. With the same process, just click that basket icon and check out. And of course, not to forget, we are also streaming live on YouTube, so you can join us there too. Now, with all of that being said, of course, this is where we now delve into what is going to be a wonderful 2 hours of pure indulgence, okay, with Cadence. Now, this is the Cadence Dora glass paint. Now, towards the end of last year, we released to you a selection of colours, I think there was about 12 of them, of your Dora glass paints, okay? They were beautiful colourways, absolutely exquisite. They sold out within the first show. We've got a little teeny bit of them back in, but now we've got the whole new colorway. So these are all brand new colors for you. What we've also done is broken it down into individual sets of 4 to keep the prices nice and low for you. So you're paying under £20 per bundle, which is fabulous. So just under £5 a pop, because you're also saving $3.97 on each one of these bundles. Now I'm going to run through them with you. I'm going to share with you some projects. We also have brand new stencils on the show as well, which is a fabulous running theme at the moment that we can bring these to you, and they work exquisitely with stencil work. Now, this here for you is the Cadence Dora glass paint. Now you may have seen Dora paints, of course, in your hybrids or your flat coat metallics, and they're beautiful paints. Now you will still, of course, get the same excellence and finish that you would recognize from a standard Dora paint. But with these, you can cure them in the oven, okay? Now, any other acrylic or standard metallic, if you pop it in the oven, it will yellow, it will probably shrink, and it will also peel off because of its acrylic base. Now, with these, you can apply them directly to the glassware, leave them for 24 hours, pop them into a cool oven, put it on 180 degrees, cook them for 20 minutes, let them cool down and take them out, and it's bonded to the glassware or ceramic, and then it's dishwasher safe, it's weatherproof, it's scratch resistant, it's flake resistant, it's all round usable, versatile, diverse on every single slick hardware surface such as glass and ceramics. Don't worry, you can still use it on papercraft if you wanted to, but the reason why there is different paints for different surfaces is to give you that pioneered excellence, okay? So you want to get the best out of a product, so having something designed specifically to that surface is only going to give you an even better result. Just want to quickly, before we go through those bundles, say good morning to each and every one of you. Good morning, Carol. And the emerald green, she loves the emerald green. You know, emerald green is one of my favourite colours. I absolutely love it. Good morning, Julie. Good morning, of course, Pat. Good morning, Graham. Good morning, Rachel. Good morning, Christine, Adele, Andrea, Lou, Helen, Janice. Laura, oh, there's absolutely loads of you. Eileen, Jane, Barbara, Deborah, there's loads of you getting involved this morning. Thank you so much for staying with us. Don't go anywhere though, but what I am going to suggest that you do, of course, is this show will run through up until 1 p.m. today. If you check out your orders before that, the team in the warehouse are going to work their hardest and try their best to get it picked and packed and sent out to you today. Okay, so if you've got your paints in your basket, brilliant, check them out. Okay, so let's go through and have a little look, shall we, at what we're getting in each one of these bundles. We're going to start with Lavish. Okay, this here is your Cadence Dora Paint Lavish collection. Now, you get the signature black Dora metallic inside this one. Your deepest, darkest colour from the Dora ranges sits within this bundle. You're then, of course, going to get that wonderful bright maroon. Now, this is a crossover between almost a red, a pink. It's absolutely glorious. We then, inside here as well, have our chestnut, wonderful colour, all brand new. And then we have got our dark turquoise. Now, we've put these into bundles that complement each other, okay? So you see the tones are going to work together. You can cross over from each and every bundle, of course, but this is how you can complete your collection with Cadence Dora Metallic. Now, we're going to take you to, of course, Shop Jewel, okay? Also £19.99. So cost effective when we're talking about glass paint, okay? This is going to go onto surfaces like drinkables, like this cut glass, wine glass. Did this one this morning and it's absolutely exquisite. Now, of course, a piece of crystal glassware like this, I wouldn't put in the oven anyway. So if you're working onto a surface that isn't suitable for an oven, like a crystal glass or a champagne flute or something very thin, just leave it that 21 days and it will still knit and bond to the surface. Now, going back to, of course, Shop Jewel, £19.99, all your jewel tone colours. You've got peridot gold. Inside here as well, you've got your anthracite. You have got that glorious emerald green, and then a firm favourite of mine as well, that bright fuchsia, which really stands out, incredibly striking. And you can see how the two of those together look wonderful. I've used that bright fuchsia there on a mirrored glass vase, which we do have on the show as well for you. So don't worry, glassware, you can shop loads of glass surfaces on the show as we go through them. We're then going to go to your third bundle here, which is Shop Rich, £19.99. All of your rich colours. Now, your diamond, you'll notice, transcends from your diamond finger wax. So they've formulated that into a glass paint. We then have your cyclamen. We've also in there got your amethyst, and we also have that sax blue. Now, going down to your bottom set, this one here is Shop Polish for all of your polished tones. Now, I know this one's going to be really popular because it's absolutely screaming out for spring tone colours. You can see what I did though is I went with this wonderful aqua colour, and then I also picked out the sax blue from our above set here that sits within Rich, and I used the two of them together to create this wonderful blend on this glassware. Now, that means you can dip your toe into each bundle and always find a complementary accent. Now, inside there, you're going to get that jade colour, almost like a wonderful minty green. We've also then got our aqua. We do have our wonderful antique pink, and then we go into this glorious champagne colour, which is like a wonderful warm gold with a mix of platinum. Now, you can, of course, shop for all the four of these bundles today to complete your Dora Glass collection. That's exactly what I'd be doing, and it's what I've also done. These paints are the first time you're seeing these colours here today at Highlight Crafts live shopping, all individually in bundles at just £19.99 for you. I don't know if we're going to have enough stock to see us through, of course, our 2-hour show, or of course to see us through today at all, but they are exquisite, they are beautiful. But we do have lots of substrates on the show in which you're going to be using these with. Now, we will come back to these in a few moments, okay? We're going to recap on them just before, of course, we do go into a demo. For any of you joining us throughout the day, maybe you joined us from the very first start of the show this morning, you've just quickly gone and get some breakfast and a coffee. I don't blame you. Come back and, of course, we'll share them with you. Now, what we're going to do is move on to some glassware on our show. We've got them at great prices. Now, I'm going to start with Shop Candle, okay? This is going to give you 2 of your squared candle jars. Now, you can, of course, pop a tea light or make a full candle out of these. But I thought it'd be a great shout to pop them on the show because it's a first initial surface you can work with your Dora glass paints. Now, these would be great if you want to call yourself a beginner with glass paints because it's a flat surface, it's a squared edge, which means that when you're going on with your stenciled work, you get a really easy coverage, okay? Now, they would be great to base coat with one of your tones and stencil over with a complementary and blend it through. They'd look great out in the garden too, or you could do your little macrame holders around it and have them suspended. These are exquisite, okay? They're really thick, chunky glass as well, so they're really easy to work with. And again, these are the sort of glasswares you can put in the oven to cure, or alternatively leave it for that 21 days. It's entirely up to you. When we say oven though, always make sure it is just a standard electric or a gas oven, that'd be fine. We're now going to move on to shop glass, which is going to get you 2 of your 15 centimetre squared glass plates. Now these are the ones with that wonderful hammered texture on the reverse of the glassware, which gives you a really nice dazzling effect, okay? So with your textured glass, that is shop glass at just £14.99. They're 15 centimetres in size, okay? So completely square, but these are chunky, much thicker glass than your standards. Again, you've got your wonderful rounded edges, slightly different from the other glass plates because they have a frosted edge. But these would look great, of course, with one of those jars sat in there as a candle holder. They would look great with a vase on top of it, anything at all. But these are a deeper dish, so they're great for serving. They're great, of course, to pop some nibbles on. And if you're going in with your Dora glass paints, of course, when they're cured, they're food safe as well. So rest assured, when you're working with it, you can still drink from the glasses. You can still serve from the plates. It's a functional and a decorative paint, so it does both. We're now going to look at these here. This is shop place. Now what you get inside here, you're actually getting an entire pack of 10 inside here, 10 sets. And what you're going to get is your glass pane and the wooden base. Now you slot these into, of course, the wooden base. I paint it first and slide them in. Now this is slop. This is slop. Oh my goodness. This is slop. This is shop place. It's £17.99. Now these would be wonderful. Maybe you're having the family around for Easter and you're going to do a place setting on each one, but also wonderful for a bit of stenciling. They look great in, of course, a windowsill, in a garden setting. They are fabulous. Now you get a full set of 10 in there for £17.99. Okay. Now you might have spied across the samples these wonderful little jars. Now I think these are fabulous. They're great for your tea and coffee because they come with the cork lids. Great for mirror spraying. Great for doing blending effects as well. All sorts can be achieved with these, whether you're painting the interior or exterior. Now we do actually have them on the show, so I'm going to bring them over to you. We've got one in a 400ml capacity, and we also have one in a 600ml capacity. The 400 is shop 4, okay, so it's the word 4, not the number 4. And this here is your glass, completely rounded and beveled edge. They're absolutely beautiful, and you're going to get your cork lid with them. Now, you can paint your cork if you want to, or leave it blank, especially if you're going to make wonderful projects like this. Really easy surface to go onto. Looks great if you paint the interior, or if you want to make a candle out of it, they would look really nice because you get the lid. So imagine painting the outside with your glass paint, filling the inside with a wax candle, and then you've got a wonderful finished article. Great gifts, wonderful presents. Now this one at the back here, you can see on that one, I painted the inside of the glassware, which gave a completely different illusion, a different effect. So painting the inside with that emerald green, you can see I picked up that paint there, popped it on the inside with my sponge, and it gave a wonderful effect. But it's completely different if you paint it on the outside. But those jars are fabulous. I love them to bits. They're really handy. They fit into any home as well, any setting. Or of course you could take the lid off, make your really own fancy paintbrush pot if you wanted to. Shop 4, £6.99 to get hold of this one. And then shop 6, so SIX, and that is £7.99 for the 600ml one. The two of them work great together, but what I would suggest doing is going for sets of 3. Okay, so I'd go for like 3 of your 600. They would be great for tea, coffee and sugar, and your smaller ones would be fabulous as well. Maybe you're just going to store everyday items in them, your craftables, your cut and use all cut up, but you've got decorative jars to do it in. Shop 4 and shop 6 to go for either one of those. Great prices as well on these. Now, we do have loads of stencils on the show. I'm going to come to those in a few moments, okay? Because we do also have some ceramics on our show. Now this here is shop plates, okay? These are a new member to our Highlight Crafts live shopping collection. And these are just £12.99 for 2 of them. The side, these are bigger than A4, okay? And you've got the wavy scalloped edge that wraps around. These would look wonderful with your ceramic and your Dora glass paints. Painted over the top, stenciled in. Think about bringing any of these in and going straight in and creating wonderful floral borders with them. So think about, I'm going to grab a stencil from over here. Think about popping your stencil design on there and creating wonderful springtime finishes with your stencil work. Those there, you're going to get 2 in your bundle, and it's just £12.99 for the pair of them. It is shop plates. Incredible price for the pair of those today. They're a wonderful cream colour as well, so they don't need to be base coated. They're already glazed. You could go directly on with your markers, but just a single, I would mask off a corner and paint that section, then do a lovely little piece of stencil work just here. I did rice paper one in one of our shows last week, and I was really happy with the result. But again, great for, and a dishwasher safe as well, so great for inside, outside, serving, all of that sort of stuff. We do also have a set of 6 of these glass jars. Now, it's shop jar for these. They're just £8.99. These are wonderful little dessert jars, which you can use time and time again. £8.99 for all 6 of them. Of course, maybe you like to make giftable like jams and marmalades and things like that. These would be fabulous for this. Make your own little labels, but of course, paint them with those glass paints. They can withstand temperature, so you can cure them. It means you don't have to wait the full 21 days if you don't want to. You're going to get 6 of those in total. Lovely little display of glass jars there for you at £8.99. Now, a firm favourite of mine, which we have managed to retain more stock of for this show, is your glass dishes. Now, I'm going to share one with you. I'm going to use in a demo later on, because I've done some stencil work on it. If you shop dish into the comments, so type shop dish, for £9.99, you're going to get 2 of the largest oblong. Now, I was doing some stencil work onto this one here, and it is absolutely wonderful. This is a project you need to recreate at home. And of course, if you're part of the Cadence Club, in the first class, I share with you how to work onto these plates. Now, 2 of those will be coming to you. They are 17 centimetres, I think, by 35 centimetres. They're huge, okay? Great for the centre of a table. Great for the middle of a coffee table with candles on. You can serve off of these, but with your glass paints as well, you get an everlasting finish. Shop dish for the pair of those, and you're going to receive 2 in your bundle. Now, let's have a look at stencils, shall we? We have got 4 brand new sets of stencils, okay? I'm just going to go around here, there we go. 4 brand new sets of stencils. Now, you might be thinking, what am I going to be getting in here? Am I going to get all of the same? No, you've got a wonderful variety of imagery to work inside with these. Now, the first one I'm going to take you through is Shop Honey, okay, which is your honeybees bundle of stencils. Now, that gets its name from our wonderful octagonal shapes that we've got inside here, but you have got repeat pattern, okay? Just have a look at some of the designs that you're going to be getting. I'm going to share the price with you in just a second, because Shop Honey, £19.99 is going to get you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beautiful texture stencils. You have got your wood grain inside here as well. Look at this. Imagine that on glassware. Okay, if you're looking at these as well and you think I'm a paper crafter, these would be wonderful for your stash. This one is a seamless pattern, which you just saw I used on that plate to create that wonderful oblong finish. This one here almost reminds me of an acrylic pour when you've got your cells all forming on the top. We've got these spiraled elements in here. This wonderful Moroccan style stencil as well, which repeats, of course, from the side and from the top and bottom. And then you've got your little bit of texture in there with your honeycombs. Now that is Shop Honey. It's £19.99 for all 6 of those stencils, okay? I'm going to say they're just shy of being A5 in size, okay? Oh yeah, Amanda's saying that these are little bumblebees. You know what I saw them as? Little ironwork tops. Little ironwork tops I saw with those. But yeah, of course, they're your bumblebees to use with your honeycomb. But I literally see those as little ironwork tops. Amanda's absolutely wetting herself now. Thank you ever so much, everyone, for getting involved. Pauline says, good morning, David and team. Love this show. Me as well. The team, of course, just to introduce you, we've got the lovely Amanda on cameras. We also have Andrew in the wings as well, producing and directing. Big hello there from Andrew. Are you also doing the comments as well, Andrew? Yeah. Doing the comments as well. So get your comments in for Andrew. How many signatures are we on? That's what we need to know. Have you, of course... Oh, Andrew's going to find out how many signatures are on for his After the Watershed show coming up, of course, here on Highlight Crafts Live Shopping. Right, I'm going to take you now to... What was that, Amanda? I put mine on. Amanda's put hers on. Right, we're now going to our next set of stencils. This is Shop Background, okay, for, of course, all of your background stencils. I'm still laughing about them bees. So, in here we've got a complete mixture of wonderful background images from all of your lines. Look at this, these droplets. This looks fabulous. This reminds me of one of those little music boxes where it rotates and all of the little pins, of course, go on those little prongs and make the wonderful noises. Now, of course, inside here, look at this, all of your wording in there. Great for just a bit of inking through as well, just to create texture on the inside or the top of a card. You're again getting inside here 6 A5 inch stencils. You've got this wonderful, almost cracked desert, just like dirt surface inside here. This spider web, which is almost shabby chic and aged inside there. That is a really cool one. That looks like an acrylic pour. Blend through there with your Dora glass paints onto your plates, onto your jars, onto your candle holders. And ones like this are great because they don't have something called fingers in them, okay? Which means, of course, elements that raise up from the stencil, which means you can literally wrap them round your jars like this and get a fabulous full coat coverage because you've got no areas wanting to lift up from the stencil, which is fabulous. Now, there's certain stencils designed for certain things. So, of course, if I was to share with you this one, I would use this stencil on a flat surface because as I wrap that round, I may have got areas that then want to lift. So we'd use this on maybe just an ever so slight curve. We can still use our stencil sprays with them, of course, but to get you your best results, use the stencils designed for those surfaces. That there is shop background. It is £19.99 for all 6 of those. We're then moving on to shop birds, okay? Now this here is your set of border stencils, okay? These are brilliant. $34.99 for 6 of these. Inside here you're getting these wonderful, almost silhouette style images, capturing, of course, the birds at the tops of the florals. You can use these and mask them off individually. Sometimes I like to cut into my stencils, break them up a little bit, blend a colour from the bottom all the way to top, and you will create a wonderful design. Now these wrapped around, of course, one of those candle jars would look exquisite with, of course, just no background, just a light inside it to shine through and capture all of that silhouette design. You've got inside here almost like a field setting as you were looking through. Great for spring, great for summer, great for all-round interiors, also as well for your card making, not just your mixed media and your glass paints, but these are all brand new here today for you, okay? We're now going to have a look at our final set, and I've left my favorite to last, of course I have. This here is Shop Floral. Now inside here you've got your wreath, you've got your sunflowers, you've got these huge, what I almost think that looks like a chrysanthemum to me. You've got like peonies inside here, and this one's great because think about your foiling pen from Craftmaster. That is the perfect width of nib channel for that to go in and create your foiled effects. You can use your foiling pen with all of these stencils. Inside here as well, you've got another border built up from loads of design, but again, a favorite. Look at those, all of your big sunflower or daisy heads inside here as well. Just one of those onto a piece of glassware would look exquisite. Or maybe in the center of that wreath, mix them together. You've got the flower heads, you've got the stems, you've got individual sections, sunflowers, you've got peonies, you've got chrysanthemums, roses. That there is Shop Floral, and that is £34.99. Now today, you could get all of your brand new Dora glass paints, 4 brand new sets of stencils, and get crafting with something you never even had in your stash before. Now that is a wonderful thing to be able to say that you have got brand new items for you to craft with today. I'm going to quickly just recap those paints for you so you can see them all. Maybe you've just joined us. Have a little look at these paints. Look at the colours in what you're getting. These are full coat coverage on all of your glass and ceramic wares. They are absolutely exquisite. Now with these, they're all individual sets of 4. We have broken it down for you to give you great prices to keep all of the bundles under £20. Now starting at the top here is Shop Lavish. You've got your black inside there, that wonderful maroon, your chestnut and that dark turquoise. A wonderful set, really, really complementary of one another. Very deep, very majestic, very moody. All 4 of those designed to go directly onto glass. When you're working onto glass as well, just make sure to thoroughly wash it. I'll cover all of that during my first demonstration for you. That there is Shop Lavish. Now we're going to go on to Shop Jewel, which is your second one down, which of course you've got that wonderful aged, almost like a green gold inside there. We then go through to your anthracite, which is it's a fabulous colour. That in the Dora Metallics has been so popular, and now having it in your glass paint is exquisite. You've then got your emerald and you've got your bright fuchsia. That there is Shop Jewel for you. Now Shop Rich is our third one down. This involves our amethyst. We've got our sax blue, we've got our amethyst. We then also have our cyclamen And then again, we have got our diamond, all four of those there together. And then we're finishing off at the bottom of our display just here with shop polish, which gets you your jade, also gets you your aqua, and it's going to get you that wonderful antique lilac, okay, and the champagne. Now, all sets of these, all brand new, launching here today on Makeover Monday for you. We've got a 2-hour show special for you to sit back, relax, enjoy these, but I'm going to really advise to get these into your basket now. Check out your baskets, because then the warehouse are going to start to pick and pack your orders and get them sent out to you. So the quicker you shop, the quicker you check out, the quicker you get your order, okay? All 4 sets today, brand new for you. Pick and choose whichever ones you want to go for. Spread the cost, of course, by your different payment methods when you go over to the website. It is a great way to shop with us. Gonna have a little look at through our comments as well. We've got some questions coming in. It's wonderful to have your company. Janet says, David, can you touch up windows with this? Can you touch up windows with this? And will it be weatherproof if you don't put it in an oven? Absolutely. Oh, yeah, you can touch up windows with it if you wanted to. Of course, it's directly onto glassware. Yes, it is weatherproof. If you're painting something, Janet, that is glass and it's outside permanently and you can't bring it in so like the outside of a window, you don't have to put it through the oven, and please don't put your bedroom window in the oven. That won't be a good idea. But no, in all seriousness, when you've painted onto the glassware, what I would suggest doing is doing it on a nice warm sunny day, or just make sure it's dry, okay? You don't want it to be damp. Cover it over once you've also done that. So I'd like maybe get a washi tape and maybe a bin liner to cover it, just to make sure it's not exposed to rain or anything like that. And keep checking on it. It will be absolutely fine, but if you would have painted it on and then it was to rain heavily that night, it just wouldn't be a good idea because it wouldn't have cured properly. But 21 days is a curing process. So if you painted it and covered it, and tried to keep that part of the decorative area covered for 21 days, it should give you the result that you need, okay? I've painted items before with the acrylics, and of course you're meant to leave them 21 days, and I've not. I've almost done it and painted it and then put it outside straight away, and it's been absolutely fine. We did some stone painting as well in our academy with some wonderful big stones. Those as well, I literally painted them and popped them straight out of the garden. They were fine. None of the paints ever come off. It's there as a precaution and almost as a safety net for you, okay? We're going to have a look through, of course, some more of our questions and comments, and then we're going to have a little look at demos as well. Christian says, these would be perfect, I think, for my windows, debating these, or the diamond ones from Saturday. Well, that's a great shout. The diamond ones, of course, are weatherproof, but these ones are your curable ones onto glassware, so specifically for glass, okay? So I hope that answers any queries you may be having. I would always try to do a coat of gesso before applying any paint as to give a better depth of colour, plus you can use any paint you want. That's a great shout. What I will mention though, of course, if you are going onto glassware, don't gesso it first, you just go directly on with the glass, okay? If you put a gesso onto your glassware and then put your paints over the top, they're not actually meeting the surface of the glass, okay? They're only sticking to the gesso. It's really important that that paint has direct contact with that glassware. If it doesn't, it won't adhere properly. Also, if you are going to put gesso on glass, then your paints and pop them in the oven, it's not going to properly cure because it's not bonding to the glass surface itself. You'll feel that when it comes out of the oven, it will feel completely different, okay? It feels and looks beautiful, but that is the proper process to do it. You can use gessos loads with those other paints. It's entirely up to you.
Really quickly, a few people asking what paint to use on MDF.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to come back to you, everybody. What paint to use on MDF is a question we're getting asked, and I would imagine that is because, of course, we had our fabulous MDF kits on over the weekend. But MDF you can use with your gessos, you can use it with your acrylics, metallics. You can use these on MDF, but I would suggest using your standard metallics because they will give you a nice coverage on wood, and these are designed for glassware, so you wouldn't want to use up a paint that's designed for glass on MDF. You can use your diamond metallics that we had on over the weekend. They work brilliantly on MDF. You can use them on there too. If you're going onto MDF, especially the kits that we've got, you don't necessarily need to prime all of them. You can go on with a coat of gesso if you want to. Mel did mention though that with that style of MDF, sometimes you can get a slight yellowing through. So she went on with a matte varnish first and sealed it all to lock in all of the MDF, and then went on with her paints. Now you could use the Aquastone for that process as well if that's the one that you've got. But I would suggest all-round acrylic, diamond metallics, your Dora hybrids would work as well on wood, or anything that you wanted to go for. Just make sure it's an acrylic base and water base for your MDF. You can use, again, these glass paints on different surfaces, but they're permanent only on glass, okay? I hope that clears anything up for you. There's so many of you getting involved today. Hi, Christine. Oh, look at this. We've got everyone asking questions. Everyone's talking amongst themselves as well, which is lovely to see. It is, God, my goodness, the comments keep coming through. David, what would be the best paint for metal? I have an old garden table that has metal edge and a glass top, so I want to jazz it up for the summer. That's from the lovely Pauline. Good morning, Pauline. If you're wanting to paint onto an outdoor table that has a metal frame with a glass top, if you were to paint the metal, I would go in with a hybrid paint, okay? They do adhere to metal and they also do adhere to, well, all surfaces, but metal is great. What you want to do is make sure it's thoroughly clean first, make sure any dust, any grime or anything that's on the surface that if it's an outdoor table will have started to stick to it. Make sure it's fully clean, jet wash it down. You could use a bit of a metal scourer as well to go over the metal just to give it a bit of a key. I would prime it first, of course, with something like a gesso, and then go straight in with your acrylics, but let it cure for 21 days and you'll be good to go. If your table is really smooth and it's absolutely fine, then there's no need to prime it. It's only if it's in bad condition then you'd want to. And of course, for the glass top, you could use your glass paints. Entirely up to you. You could stencil what I would do the bottom side of the glass, and then it will come through the top and look wonderful. So it doesn't give you any texture on the top, it just gives you the wonderful metallic underneath. Now, what I'm going to do first is we're going to do this crystal glass, okay, with 2 tones of our paint, because I really want to show you the process of this and how easy it actually is. I'm going to get my trusty palette out, again, of course, for this project, which always is by my side for a project like this. Stephanie saw it the other day and she was mortified. She was like, how do you know what's wet and what's dry? And I was like, well, I just do. That one there looks like it's always wet, but it's varnish. So it looks like I've always got wet paint there. Now what I'm doing here is I'm dipping into that aquatone from our polished collection, and I'm going to go into our wonderful Sax Blue from our rich tones, okay? So I'm going to get a little bit of the Sax Blue, okay? And when you open your paints, they will have a cardboard lid. You can dispose of this if you want to. I like to keep it and push it down into the lid. It will also have a foil top which I pierce. It's absolutely fine to do so. With your glass paints, just store them in a cool room temperature area and then out of direct sunlight as well, because of course UV will dry paints much quicker. And then I'm going to go in with some of the aqua as well for this one. Again, pop your card disc inside the lid and you're good to go. Now I'm going to start with the aqua first. I'm going to need a little bit more of this one, but it's always easier to add more paint than it is to pop it back in the bottle. It is a completely water-based paint as well. Now, these bundles of 4, again, they're under £20 each, which is an amazing value for money. So today, pick your favourite one. That could be the one, of course, that sparks your glassware journey. So, what I'm going to do now, Andrew's just been given a sausage roll during this show. I'm going to out him. He's just been given a sausage roll.
Yep.
Can you believe it? Thought we were a team. Great.
Nope.
Never mind. It's fine, guys. Don't worry about it. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to go around my glass top. Now, the reason why I'm actually going to mask off this top area is what I want to do is leave just a band of clear glass on the top, because the texture to drink out of it would be nice to keep it and retained as the glass itself. I'm also not painting onto the interior of the glass. I'm making sure to go onto the exterior of the glassware as well, okay? There's a reason for that. I don't want this to be in direct contact. If we're going to put something like alcohol inside here, we don't want, of course, be contaminating that with our paints. It is fine to do so because it's washable, but you will get a better result with it on the exterior, okay? So I'm going to go around with my tape and just create a border across here. I'm just using a low tack washi tape for this one, so I'm going to grip it down first, find where it's going to go, and because this has got a slight beveled edge to it, I'm just going to try and keep it as symmetrical, or should I say as even as possible. Here we are, work around here, there we go. I'm going to marry up to the end where I first started and then just tear that away. So now you can see I went and dipped in a little bit there. So I'm just going to take this back, just curve up a little bit as well. Let us know as well what you got up to over the weekend. Did you do anything nice for Mother's Day? Let us know what you did. Okay, it was a lovely day yesterday. It was really nice and sunny. Took my mum out for a meal, which was really nice. Had a lovely time. And it felt like a really long day because I think the clocks changed, didn't they? So it felt like it was darker for much longer, like lighter for longer. It was lovely. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my Cadence cut and use foam for this. I'm going to cut a small section to work from. I always like to work in from the corners with this. Okay, there we are, cutting into the edges. Diane says, looks like a lot of paint gone to waste. Believe me, a lot of this is very old.
Does the paint dry opaque or like transparent? Will light go through it?
So this paint here, you can do it in a 2-coat coverage process. So if the question was about is it opaque or transparent, with of course your transparent settings, with this, 1 coat will allow light to permeate through the paint, okay, which will give you, of course, an ever so slight translucency. If you do 2 coats, it will be fully opaque and the light won't travel through. So if you want to have a sheer coverage with a slight accent, just do a gentle stipple to get the accent of the colour, which you'll see. But of course, if you want it to be full coverage and you don't see through it, 2 coats is recommended. Now you can apply the paint much thicker to get away with only having to do 1 coat, but the texture will be slightly different. It's always good to apply thin, even layers to get you the best coverage. And we'll show you how to do that. But yes, absolutely, you can choose whether you want it to be opaque or transparent, but it's designed to be fully transparent. So when you see something like this, you can see there that the paint itself is complete coverage in the areas that it was applied to. Okay. Oh, let's have a look. Janet says, I made a silver wedding box frame card and a 66th birthday card as well as watching you and Mel on Saturday. Oh, wonderful. Sounds like you got a lot of crafting done then. Let's have a look at some more comments that we've got coming through. The pictures were lovely, David. Oh, thank you, Amanda. Yeah, it was a really nice day. I got to catch up with Mum. I'd not seen her in a little while. Whenever she was off, I was in, and we were always like passing ships. It was nice to catch up with her. Pauline says, thank you, David. Excellent. Okay, no problem at all. Glad I was able to answer your question. Making sure this time to drink my coffee while it's warm. Right, so we're going to go into our aqua first, okay? Starting with the aqua, pick up the paint, okay, and before you go to your project, stipple with it first. You almost want to prime the sponge, okay? Now what I'm going to do with this process is paint almost the entire of the glass with the aqua, then we're going to bring in our darker colour, okay? If we try to blend before we're doing our first coat, we're going to end up muddying the colours together. So going straight around here on our glassware, look at this. Okay, continue to work onto it. Now you can see where that colour is giving us great coverage. I'm also applying it thinly so you can still see my hands inside there. It's slightly sheer, which does look wonderful as well. If you want that effect to be achieved, just give it 1 coat and let it dry. Now when you're building up and playing with these paints, you can just dry it with a hairdryer and then do your next coat. It's absolutely fine to do so. If you can wait for it to dry naturally, it is slightly better. But don't worry, if you're crafting and want to get the whole lot done in 1 day, you can use a hairdryer to dry it in between coats. Now I always suggest as well with glass paints not to use a heat gun, because you're going to heat the paint up really, really hot and it can go quite tacky before it's had time to dry. Remember, this is a glass paint that we're working with. It's not like our standard acrylics, okay? There's a lot more binders being put into here to give you a very strong adhesive, okay, an adhesion to the paint. So we're going straight onto here. It's got no odour at all, doesn't have any scent or smell, but of course it's packed full of metal flakes. Now I find it fascinating that this paint of course gives the same appearance as your standard Doras, but with of course that additional grab for these slick surfaces. And it still has that wonderful flash, even if it's been in an oven. It doesn't yellow, doesn't change colour. Always make sure it's only over 20 minutes in the oven though. Now we've got that wonderful blue frosting all around the top of there. You can see the haze. Now what I'm going to do is now start to work down the stem. I'm just going to pop that down. There we are. So I've got my tape all ruffled up. I'm going to start to work into the stem of the glass, holding onto the base to make it easier for myself. I'm going to go right into where it joins to the base of this wine glass. And it's nice to be able to do a project ideally from start to finish with you all, so you can see the journey that it goes on as well. And please, any questions, just keep them coming through, whether it's about this paint, whether it's about any paints you've got from us recently. It would be wonderful to be able to share that knowledge with you, of course, which we are also doing in our Cadence Club. So I'm going to continue to rotate around here with our paint. And then I'm going to stand my glass upright like this, okay? Always make it easy for yourself, hold things in a manageable way. Then going to work onto the base. Now I'm working on the whole exterior of this glassware to achieve that wonderful flawless finish, all right? And then we're going to blast it with a heat gun, well, with our hairdryer, and I'll have a read through the comments as we do so, okay? Just going to continue to go around, all over here. There we go. Now, hairdryer. Just going to use it on a warm setting and give it a blast, okay? Janet says, I need to frame that paint palette. It's a work of art. Do you know what? I have thought about that. I've thought about starting a new one now and making like a full set of them together. But there is all sorts on there. There's bits of paste, there's little bits of metallic. I did think about peeling it all off at one point, but it won't. It's now welded on there. It's probably around about 2 or 3 years worth of paint all built up together. And you may look at it and think some bits have been wasted. I have actually managed to capture a lot back from it, but do you know what? I love the idea that it's actually becoming a piece of art itself. It would look quite cool now to just gesso the whole thing black and go over it with a gilding wax and see what sort of texture I can create with it. But I feel like it would be a crime against the wonderful tones that have been achieved inside there, but I couldn't agree more with you. Let's have a little look. Barbara says, I had my son come round after a lovely meal. We then spent the afternoon crafting. He wanted to try decorating a wine glass to take home as his own glass. Oh, that's absolutely wonderful, Barbara. Hey, that's quite apt that that's the first project I've chosen to do today. I hope you had a wonderful day. It sounds like you had a great time with your son. And what a wonderful thing as well to get him involved in the crafting. That's a wonderful thing to do. Now that we've got our first coat of that aqua colour down onto here, what we're then going to do is go back in with the paint, and then we're going to start to dip into our deeper colour. So starting from the top again, you can see how that second coat instantly is now giving us full coverage and bringing through that wonderful aqua tone. So right around the glass itself, I'm holding it by the stem. If you pick it up and it still feels really tacky, it's not fully dry and you might pull it off with your fingers. Okay, so you want to make sure to let it completely dry before doing so, and you saw how quick that was, so it's a great paint to work with. So now that we've got that wonderful sort of airbrushed finish around the top of our glass, which you can see there, I'm going to pop a little bit more aqua because we're now going to make our blend. Okay, now this is where a lot of people go, oh, I've done it wrong, I've gone wrong. You haven't gone wrong, don't worry, you can always paint over it, and paint is such a fluid process, quite literally, that you can continue to work into it with other colours, merge them together. What I'm also going to do on standby is have an additional piece of cut and use ready to work with, because what that's going to do is allow us to carry the colours together, or I could always introduce or overpower it with a second tone, so I can control it a little bit. Right, what we're going to do is dip a teeny tiny bit of that Sax Blue, like a tiny bit, in with, of course, our aqua. So now we're creating a mid-tone between them. I'm going to start to place that around where our glass curves in and nips into the centre. Okay, so a little bit more of our Sax Blue with our aqua, and you can see how now that deep blue is coming through. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, I'm still using my sponge. I'm trying to always use it in the same direction as well. And then as I've got that wonderful blue coming round, I'm going to really focus it into the centre. Okay, get all of that deep blue just around that base, there we go, and look how effortlessly it just starts to merge with the undertone. There we go, and that base coat of that aqua that we put down was really important to then allow us to carry the colours through. So I'm just going to do a little bit of blending on the stem because I want to still be able to hold it, so I'm not going to cover it completely just yet. There we are, and just make sure you've not got no blobs or lumps of paint. Now, I'm then going to carry the sponge round. I've not gone into any more paint at all, okay? At this point, I'm still using what is left on that sponge. If we start to introduce loads more paint right now, it's going to become quite heavy, quite colour heavy, and harder to control. So we're almost misting it out, okay, as we go around it, and it becomes so easy. You'll feel like the sponge is almost sticking to the glass, and that's fine, it's drying out, okay? It's becoming more and more, well, there's less and less paint appearing to be on the sponge. Go to the bottom again, carry out a bit more colour. And I'm not really focusing on going into those indentations of the cut areas because it's quite nice to have the highlight of those inside. Now I'm at a stage where I'm quite happy with the blend that we're starting to achieve there. So I'm going to dry it off with my hairdryer, okay? We don't want to disturb any of that blend we've just created. So let's dry this off again. I'm going to have a little look at our comments as well. Barbara says we also made 2 candles, one that's self-colour and one two-toned. Oh, fabulous. That sounds great. Janet says she loves the finish as well, just with one coat. I do, you know, actually. Just having one coat of it on there, it's really subtle, but it looks glorious. And of course, it gives you the option then, whether you want it to be super bold, bright, whether you want it to be full coverage. You can really tailor it to however you like your work. Jane says she had a great day yesterday, found out the gender of my son's expected baby, a lovely little girl. Oh, congratulations, Jane. And planted new plants with my 3-year-old grandson whilst his parents went to a wedding. Oh, that sounds absolutely wonderful. What a lovely day that you've had there, and congratulations as well of of your little girl, little granddaughter on the way. How great is that? Do you know what? I panicked this morning. I left my seeds out overnight last night. Put them out in the sun so they could sunbathe and bask in the sun. And I woke up this morning and realised they were still in the garden. But fortunately we didn't have a frost, so they might be okay. So I'm going to go home and see how they are. Bless them. Right, okay, so we've now got that wonderful blend carried through. So what I'm going to do is dip into that, just that Sax blue now, okay, and really start to carry that through into the stem so we can create that wonderful deep colour. And see how, again, I'm not using much paint at all. A very little goes a very long way. We just want it to continue down the stem, right around here, and stippling with this paint always gives you the best coverage. You can do, of course, brush strokes with it. I choose to always use a sponge, though, because it gives you that wonderful airbrush texture that the paint is so well known for. Now, I've got these little indentations that can be a little bit troublesome at times, but continue to work into it and then even it out over the top with your sponge. So I'm going to rotate around, get us really nice coverage on here. There we go. And look at that, how that paint is continuing to travel. It's so generous. I've put out, of course, nowhere near needed that much, but it shows you just how far it goes. I also as well love the inside of it. So as you can see the base of the glass there, where the colour is underneath, you can now visualise what it would be like on the inside of it. So again, all the way around here, just with that wonderful deep blue. Let's have a look. Karen says, I've just checked out, have been putting the glass jars through dishwasher ready for these paints. Oh, fabulous. Yeah, get them all ready, get them all washed. If you're going onto any glassware, just make sure it's thoroughly washed, okay? You can use an alcohol rub. I have run out of my alcohol rubbing solution, so I just use washing up liquid and hot soapy water. And you know what? It does the treat perfectly, and I don't have to use anything strong. So a little bit of a tip there for you. And I'm just going to continue around there, give this a quick blast, but before we now set it, I'm going to peel off my tape. Now, if you were to leave this tape onto here, maybe for a day or two, then peel it off, the paint might have overlapped a little bit and you just don't want it to form a skin. So take it off at the first glance. I'm going to go back in now with my heat tool, just my hairdryer, my trusty hairdryer. It's great for doing glass paints, quiffs, everything, you name it. It's good for the lot. It does everything. There we go. 2 demos in one. And then what I'm going to do is just blast this to give it a nice dry, and then you can see the stunning result it creates with the blend. It looks lovely. Oh, Amanda just said it looks nice inside as well. It does. It looks great. It'd look even nicer with a bit of wine in it, wouldn't it? So what I'm going to do is go around. It's only that's not even 12 o'clock yet. It's fine. So let's get our other one. Where have I done my first one? I've left it down there. So let's put the two together, shall we? Look at our lovely little wine glass set that we've created from those wonderful colours. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, it's so easy to. They could be a gift set. They look absolutely stunning. And we've used our brand new Dora glass paints to achieve this. Okay, we're going to do some stencil work in a few moments' time, but I'm just going to quickly recap with you as well these wonderful paints that we have for you here today. They are glorious. They are all brand new. This is your launch of your Cadence Dora glass paints in all its beauty, of course, with brand new colours. We've actually got the entire range now. You've been able to see all of the colours from the Cadence range of glass paints, which for you is an absolute asset to have in your craft room. We start off at the top here with Shop Lavish, which is £19.99. You have a £3.97 saving on this as well, so you're getting 4 glass paints. You could do that very same technique I've just done with the glass, with the black and any one of these colours. Imagine that faded up into this wonderful maroon colour, or into the chestnut, or even blending with your dark turquoise. All 4 of those colours in there. Shop Lavish, just £19.99. You saw how easy it was to work with glass paints. Never been as easy as this. So then we have for you as well your beautiful Shop Jewel, okay? This is £19 again and 99 pence, under £20 for 4 glass paints. Unbelievable prices for you. You've got that wonderful vintage antique gold, you've got the anthracite, emerald green, and of course in there your bright fuchsia. Wonderful contrasting colours as well. We have then got for you Shop Rich, again £19 and 99 pence. This here for you brings your glorious diamond colour that, mixed with the black, oh my word, that would look incredible. You absolutely have to go for the Lavish set because you need the black within your collection, guys. This one here for you there is your cyclamen. You then have your amethyst and your Sax blue. And then we round up at the bottom set there with polish. Okay, that is shop polish for you. Again, £19.99. You do have a saving of £3.97. And also, please do bear in mind as well that on top of all of these savings that you're getting with each and every one of these sets, and every other product on today's show, you will get your additional discounts at checkout, of course, being a Highlight Crafts Club member. Now you can see I've done layering with stencils on here. I've done base coating, initial color blocking with these. It's so simple, it's so easy to create blended effects. We'll try and squeeze in a demo to create this blend as well on a flat surface. So sometimes with a detailed one, it's a little bit easier to get away with it. But look at this stunning effects that we create. Now, with this type of glass, I would leave this for 21 days to fully cure. Doesn't need a varnish, doesn't need a seal. Imagine those with a bottle of wine in a little gift box or a hamper as a wonderful anniversary present. Or, okay, think about going to the charity shops like we did, really inexpensive glassware as well, and getting a full set of all of the colours on your shelf, a full rainbowed glass set, and it still has that wonderful noise as well. Doesn't affect it. Again, I've left a little top area of the glass free of the paint just so we can still drink from it and it doesn't change the texture. We're then also as well going to have a look at our stencils, okay? Because of course we're going to be using these in our next demo for you. This one here is Shop Honey, and this one is £19.99. You get your repeat beautiful floral branches, you get the wood grain texture, you get almost the crocodile skin inside here as well. Oh,
2 sets left.
there's only 2 sets left, everybody. 2 of these sets are remaining in stock. I did not know that was the case. All right, £19.99. Even with your little honeybees / ironwork tops inside here as well, with your honeycomb, that is £19.99. This would be a glorious glass covering set. We're then going to move on here to Shop Background, okay? For all of your background textures, £19.99 for this set here. You've got to be quick for these guys because they're really sort of disappearing on the show, okay? We've got 1s and 2s left of these sets. You've got all of your words inside here. Some of the words we've got in here, we've got evidence, do not open, confident. We also have in here urgent, classified, spy, enigma, document, information, reserved. So that file, keep, secret. There we go. You've got all of the words in there, all popped together to create a fabulous selection there of background imagery. This one I think would look great for Christmas too. Imagine that going through with your glass paints onto your glassware. It would look glorious, especially round a cylindrical jar like we have on the show. We've then got all of your heart shapes. We've got inside here that wonderful crackled, almost dirt surface, which is a wonderful texture to go through with your glazes too. We've then got this crackled spider web, and this one I think is going to look fabulous amongst many different projects. That's Shop Background, £19.99. We also, of course, have your birds collection. Really unique set this. I don't think we've ever done anything like this here before at Live Shopping. This one gives you a floral border, okay, where all the stems come to a base. So it's not a design where you've got random flowers dotted around. It actually has a purpose in the way that it's being created. Again, not a great deal of these left. It's $34.99 for Shop Birds. You've got a wonderful selection of all different individual floral heads as well as stems to give you detail, to give you accents, to give you full coverage, or just a little touch of spring colour to all of your glassware projects. We're then going to have a look at Shop Floral for you today, which again is an exquisite collection. I'm going to be using these next. It's hard to pick actually which one to use first, but this has your daisies inside there. As well as your daisies, you've got your wonderful wreath, you've got your individual floral stems, your chrysanthemums, your peonies. This is $34.99. Your sunflower heads are so impressive on this one. It gives you a massive impact with each and every project, okay? Now, I think what we'll do is we'll go and have a look at some more demonstrations with our wonderful glass paints. Please do, of course, keep in contact. Thank you so much for commenting today. It's been wonderful to have your company. Maria, good morning, Maria. Only just, almost 12 o'clock, says, could you stamp an image on the top? Absolutely. So if you wanted to with your glass paints, you could stamp on top of them. It's entirely up to you. You could also stamp with your glass paints if you wanted. You could braille them onto a stamp and get a relief from it. It'll be slightly different, of course, from using an ink, but you can still do that. But great shout, that would be wonderful. With that paint, I'm just going to share with you as well, just for any of you out there that are worrying. I'm going to pop this back inside my bottle, okay? So I'm going to take my paint, and any that was unused before it dries or creates a film over the top, I'm going to pick it back up here, okay, and just put any excess back inside the bottle so we don't get any waste, okay? There we are, just so everyone at home knows I am building up my palette, but I'm being quite frugal with my glass paints because of course they're my only paints in my stash that will be going directly onto glass. Right, let's have a look, shall we? We have got a beautiful selection inside here. So I'm going to use one of our florals, okay? So from the Shop Floral Stencil collection, I'm also going to use one of our beautiful glass paints. So I'm going to take, of course, my glassware. I'm just going to have a little rummage and find the stencil I'm going to choose to work with. Now, where on earth have I popped my stencils? They're right there. There we go. This is what happens, guys. 2 hours on your Todd, I end up putting everything everywhere. It's hilarious. Right, okay, so we're going to have a look through, shall we? Let's get the stencil that we want to work with. Look at all these. And when you get home, you'll be doing exactly what I'm doing now, going through your stash, having a play, looking at the ones you want to pick, and there we go. That's the one that we want. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go in with my Cadence Stencil spray. Really important part of the process. We have it on almost every one of our shows. Give it a quick spritz. I've got my bin just here. I'm going to go directly over my bin. Okay, just thought you might like to see a bin. There we go. Just so you know I wasn't just spraying it onto the floor. So I'm going to go with my stencil spray over a bin. Look, see, on the bin. Got that right? Okay. So what you want to make sure is you've got a nice even coverage of that stuff, okay? I think I just sprayed it into my coffee. Don't do that at home. Right, okay, so what we're going to do is I've cleaned my glassware, okay? Of course, all these are brand new glass, but when glass is created, it can do something called leaching. And what that is the manufacturing process of glass sometimes can then exhibit a slightly different odour and also a different surface smell. Now, this was probably absolutely fine to go straight on with, but it's always good to do it first. Sometimes if you buy brand new glassware in a box set of wine glasses or something, it has an ever so slight scent of something like white vinegar, okay? It's quite distinctive, but just make sure to thoroughly wash it. That goes away and then it's great for painting. It's just what can happen during the manufacturing and packing process, of course, from wherever it is created, especially sometimes with recycled glassware. So what I'm going to do is go directly on now with my stencil, okay? My stencil spray is going to hold it in place, but we're going to give it a hand, of course, with some tape just to tack it down on those edges, because of course we're going around quite a tight curve with this one. So I'm going to tack it down on this side, okay, and then I'm going to wrap my entire stencil around, grab just another piece of tape here. Wouldn't it be great to have 3 hands? There we go. And we're going to tack it on the other side, just with a piece of tape like that. So now I have my stencil, and look how that exquisitely bound to the surface. I've kind of centralized it, so I've got a little border there and a bit at the top. And I'm just going to pop a sponge that side, piece of tape that side to stop that rolling around. Let's use some colours to blend through here. Now, the first one I shared with you, I just used the cyclamen on its own. But why don't we carry up a bit of colour? So let's go in with, it's really hard to choose, guys, colours to actually share with you because there's so many I'd love to demo with. This here is that peridot gold, okay? I'm going to, oh dear, there we go. I don't want to do too much of that. I don't want to waste any. I'm going to use, in fact, actually, I'm going to put some of that back because I'll get too excited now. I don't want to use all of that, okay? A little bit of that back in the pot. There we go. Perfect. So I'm going to use that wonderful antique gold, and then let's go through with, oh, what should we use? We've used our blues. Should we go in with, we've got bright fuchsia, cyclamen. Let's go in with our cyclamen. Okay. Oh, wait, which one? Oh, I don't know which one to pick. It's so hard to choose. Let's go in, this one's a bit brighter. Let's use that one. Okay, so I'm going in with these 2 tones now together, complete contrast of the 2, but let's create a wonderful blend between them, shall we? Again, I'm going to use a bit of my cut and use sponge for this, making sure my stencil is still tacked in place, that tape is secured it nicely down and anchored it to the glassware, just like this, okay? We don't want it elevating in any area. We're now going to go in, of course, with our sponge. I'm going to start with the gold, because that's going to be easy then to mix in the pink with it. Take a little bit of that paint off, get a nice blend, and start to work in with that colour, okay? Going directly onto our glass surface. And then what I'm going to do is I've noticed I've got a little bit of my image just there, so I'm just going to scrape a bit of tape off. There we go. Tear it just there. And pop a little bit of tape there so I'm not going onto that part of the project. Rotate it around, make it easy for yourself. going back into the gold, take a bit off and start to blend back into that stencil. Now I'm going on to my Shop 6 for this one, which is my 600ml glass jar. I've gone about halfway up there with that colour. So now we want to start introducing our wonderful cyclamen, okay? Start to bring that in and blend the two colours. Oh, look at that. Isn't that just a dream? As those colours there gel together. Now I'm going to focus purely on the cyclamen. Continue to blend that round. There we go. Look at that. Oh my goodness, it's dreamy. It's like airbrush between the two. So now let's bring the rest of that cyclamen. Now the reason why I'm picking up the paint and then taking it off and just using a small amount is because, again, we're building up those singular layers. So I only need one coat with this stenciled image because I'm going to be quite happy with the result from this. It's going to be what we want. But also, we don't want to push a big clump of paint underneath the stencil design. We don't want to encourage that. We don't want to make, force it to bleed underneath. We just want it to be crisp, sharp, and have a flawless image finish. So, with that being said, I'm going to put my hand inside the glass so I don't drop it. I'm going to take my tape off and take my stencil away and then look at that beautiful stenciled image that we have created on the front of that glassware. Just like that. It is gorgeous, okay? Now you could then paint the inside of here. You could mirror spray the inside of this. This could be then a vase. This could have your tea, coffee and sugar in it, but you've got the Dora glass. Now for this particular one, of course, yep, you can put it in the oven. I would be more inclined to always let them air dry, but you can, of course, do that. They've designed the paint to be oven curable. Let it fully dry for at least 24 hours. You can speed dry with a hairdryer and it'll be dry in 30 seconds to a minute. But then, of course, to pop it through the oven, you want it all the moisture to evaporated. With that, anywhere in your home, it's exquisite. It's a result that you just never tire from getting. It is beautiful. So, from there, shall we have a little look? Let's go in with our bumblebees, shall we? I'm going to pop this stencil to one side. What I would always suggest doing is wash your stencils thoroughly with soap and water. Soak them in water afterwards. I'm just going to pop mine under here now, just temporarily, then I can soak them at the end of the show.
Shop Honey's gone.
Oh, Shop Honey is now gone, I'm afraid. So, of course, the stencil set that we first started with over here is now fully allocated, okay? I'm going to leave it here just in case any do bounce back. I highly doubt it will, because we've now reached a point where it's literally 12 o'clock, okay? So if anything's in your basket, I would urge you to check out, okay? Make sure to check those baskets out to get them secured and sent out to you today, all right? So what I'm going to do is go in with one of our oblong glassware pieces, okay? Now this here is Shop Dish. You're going to get 2 of these for $9.99, okay? I try and get them for you on all of our shows. They're one of my favourite glassware items to work onto because you've got so much surface area. They've got a wonderful soft bevel to them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with one of my stencils. Now, Honey has just gone, and I have used a stencil from Honey on here. So we'll show you that, of course, at the end. But I'm going to use a different one to start with, okay? Let's go through and grab a stencil. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use that one. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you this, right? Because this on glassware is going to look bonkers. Oh my goodness, this is going to look so good. Right, so I've gone in with one of my stencils from Shop Background. I'm going to spritz over it, okay, with my stencil spray. I'm in my bin. Don't worry, I'm in my bin, everyone. There we go. Spritzing over with that, making sure that's wafted away. Always make sure you do it in a well-ventilated area. Of course, we're in the studio here today. We've got the air conditioning on, and we've got our door open, but I'm just making sure to waft anything away, guys. There we go. Amanda's in a coat today. She must be freezing. Amanda, you cold?
Yep.
Amanda's cold. I have popped the heating on for you, though, Amanda, so you should hopefully start to warm up, all right? You just shout if you need more heat, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is do a soft blend through here. Now, if you get any areas of elevation, go back in with a small amount of stencil spray just to make sure you've fully tacked all over the area, and you want to make sure that you do give it that waft. Okay, if it's not sticking, it's not dried properly, okay? And I'm going to put a bit of tape on there to encourage it, to make it a little bit easier for it. But what I'm going to do is now go back in with our stencil and look at that. It's now sticking on that edge. We can use a bit of tape to help it along its way because it is a beveled area. It's going to want to go in different directions, but we're going to push it down and the stencil spray is really going to help us with that part of the process. I'm then just going to grab a reel of tape just to do this edge, and then we'll let this one dry on its own and I'll show you the one that I've finished, okay? And we'll go over with a second coat of a different colour. So I'm going to keep my sponge out that's got my cyclamen on it because let's use it. I'm going to grab as well another colour for us to work with. Let's go with some of this wonderful amethyst, okay? Beautiful colour inside here. Remember to shop all of those individual bundles. You'll find of them, of course, on the website. You can shop ahead, get them all in your basket. I'm going to snip off, in fact, no, we're not. We're going to use one sponge to do this whole thing. We're going to start with our cyclamen, okay? So I'm going to work in with my cyclamen around here, pushing down the stencil with my sponge, getting that wonderful airbrush finish. Start to dip into a bit of that amethyst, pick up a little bit of a matte blending up, and there start to bring that purple into that wonderful cyclamen. Look at those two there, how they're so complementary of one another. They're quite literally just blending as we work with them. Let's just move this around here. I'm going to move my sponge down, continue to work into the surface. There we go. And look at this. Pick up some of that cyclamen now. Bring that down into the bottom corner for us. There we go, working around here. And the result that you get is just absolutely exquisite. Just go for it with your Cadence paints. Just honestly go for it and have fun with the entire process. Then what I'm going to do is round up in this top corner with that amethyst. So let's pick up a bit more of that. Work this into that edge there. And the two colours now have completely mixed. Notice how I'm not really too focused on the fact that that's elevated there. I'm literally going to take this tape away first. Take our stencil off. Look at this. Oh my goodness. It is absolutely beautiful. Now that is your glassware, completely covered with those stencils. That is of course your stencil from shop background. It is a glorious stencil to work with. That there, you could partition that section off and paint the rest. So I'd be inclined now to tape this line, paint a different colour on the back of here, and then do an ombre of the two colours going down. You could create a stunning effect. Now what I've done is I went on with one of our other stencils and did a full repeat pattern. So you could see here how it just works so beautifully on this glassware. You can also brayer with the paints too. So let's create an ombre blend in the back of here, shall we? I'm going to work onto this mat to create my blend, which I may regret later on because then I'm probably going to have no space to put anything, but hey ho, let's do it. I'm going to go on with, let's have a look, I've got a roller just here. So I've got my trusty roller to work with, and we're going to get some paints out. Now I'm thinking in the back of here, it wants to be, okay, we could go in with that anthracite. Amanda's not happy with anthracite. What do you want to see, Amanda? What do you want to see? What colours does everyone want to see? I've gone in with emerald. Amanda says she wants to see the black one being blended on here. Should we go black into gold? Okay, let's do that, shall we? So we're going to use our black then. Oh, Carol says, coffee time, back in a couple. Oh, grab us one, Carol, while you're there. I'll have a fresh one. Right, okay, make sure to come back and join us. We're then going to go in with that wonderful vintage gold, which I think is going to work really well with the black. Okay, and pop those out onto our mats. Look at those colours. They are absolutely gorgeous. Do bear in mind as well, I'm using this here from Shop Lavish and also from Shop Jewel, your two different paint bundles. Let's go in with our foam roller to start with, okay? So I'm working into the black, priming the roller, getting that ready, okay? And because I'm going to work from this side here, I'm going to actually make sure I'm beginning at this side and blend down. So working with that black, take it to our plate and start to work on top of the green. So I'm now blending over this completely, okay? Just around here, and then I'm going to show you before we carry on what it's starting to look like on the other side. So you can see a little glimpse of what I'm wanting to achieve. I'm going to have a look first. Oh, look at this inside here. It's going to look gorgeous when that is painted. So I'm going to do more of the black, starting to roll and blend this up. We're going to go almost halfway, okay? Almost halfway with it. And then as we've created that wonderful full coat coverage on the back of here so far, I'm continuing to go back over. And then just before I then mix in my gold, what I am going to do is blast this end, because I know that's always going to say a solid black colour down here, but up here is going to be our blend. So I don't want to dry that bit just yet, because I'm going to give this a second coat before I put any of the colours on my roller. There we are. And you can see how quickly it dries. It's ever so fast. Jane says it's looking great. I'm back with my coffee and toast in bed. Bless you, Laura. I'm very jealous. Oh, that's pretty much almost touch dry. There we go. Hey, do you know what? Can you believe this yesterday, right? So, a lion is something, don't have a lot of them, but when you get the chance, I love a bit of a lion. So, yesterday, at 6, on Saturday I was up at 6, and most mornings throughout the week I've been up at 6. Yesterday I thought, oh, me and my mum are going out at 12, I'll have a lion, I'll get up, get ready, all morning to chill out and rest. 6:30 in the morning, Luke shaking me. Oh, you're going to be late for work, you've missed your alarm. I was like, what are you talking about? It's Sunday morning. He was like, I'm so sorry. He's like, I'm so sorry. I was like, I really appreciated that you cared and that you actually did that, but it was my only lion and you've woken me up. And then it was like struggling to get back to sleep because it was light and all of that. And the clocks had changed, so I was confused. Why did he do that, honestly? He regretted that from the second. And I was like, what are you doing? Stop it. Nothing worse, is there? Right, what I'm going to do now is start to bring in some of that gold into the black. Okay, look at that. Now we're bringing and warming up that wonderful dark tone. And we're going to start to go over the top of the black where we began and bring it through here. Okay, now this of course is black, is going to be far more overpowering than any other colour. So we're going to now really start to take control with our gold. Okay, and if I just go here, you'll start to see how the transition is being built up. So on the back it will present differently from the front. So you can see there we're starting to warm it through. Now I've got a bit of a strong line there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my sponge and just mix it a little bit, okay, just like this, and just start to mix it all in a little bit and start to create a bit of a blend so we can start to see where the paint is now starting to blend and move up from the project. So continue to work into here, work into your paints and create that blend. Going in with more of the gold, bring it through here and have fun with it. This is a part of the process that is just so exciting. So we've gone from one of our darkest colours to a wonderful vintage finish and effect inside here. I'm going to go over the entire of the back of this with, of course, our gold blended on the back as well as the front. And look at how that colour is coming through just so beautifully. It is absolutely exquisite. Okay, so we're going to give this a quick blast with our heat gun. Okay, let's have a look, and we're going to go in with a bit more of that gold just over the back of here to bring out that colour, which looks exquisite. Then, see, that's already touch dry, it dries that quickly. Bit more of our gold just on here. There we go. And back in just to round up that top edge to give us a true sparkle finish down this side. Look at this. The coverage is just excellent. I mean, you don't get any better than this with glass paints. It is top of the range, exquisite finish. Now, of course, if you're on your Cadence journey and you're building up your stash, today is the release of all of our brand new Cadence Dora glass paints. If you join us for the first selection, and of course you got yours, now it's time to complete your kit and of course have all of the colours in the range in one place. So I'm just going to quickly dry this off for you and then show you, of course, what we're working with. Carol says, wow, that's fabulous. Thank you very much, Carol. It's come together beautifully and it's all art and work of the paints themselves. There we go, let's have a quick dry just going around here. And again, look at that. Already it's dry. Now Amanda's saying she prefers and actually really likes the look of this side. Do you know what? I completely agree. It looks wonderful, doesn't it? It's a completely... It does look embossed as well. I like the texture of the paint coming through. Now, the paints that I use to create this are our emerald and our green, which I'm going to get put on here for you so you can see. So we use those two paints to create this wonderful finish. You can see inside there, which absolutely looks glorious. We've got the both of those with the emerald coming through, and then we used our green and of course our black in the back of there, which creates a stunning finish and effect. I'm so happy with that. It looks beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me for, of course, our shows today. It's going so fast. We're already 15 minutes into our second hour, so that means give you all a quick recap and then we'll have a look at more of our paints. Okay, most definitely going to leave that sponge roller to dry out. Right, okay, so Dora glass paints from Cadence, brand new for you today. We love to have brand new items, and of course it is the very end of March, so it's a wonderful treat for you to round up what has been an incredible month here at Highlight Crafts. We've had so many new products launching, and we're tipping it off with a fabulous brand new collection of paints of Cadence. This here at the top of your stand is Shop Lavish. It's £19.99. Inside here, you're going to get that black, which I just used to mix with the gold. You're also going to get your bright maroon, chestnut, and you're going to get that dark turquoise inside here. Very opulent, very moody, very atmospheric collection of paints there for you at just £19.99, which is incredible value for money here for you today. Saving £3.97 as well on that bundle, so you've still got great savings across the board with these. Moving down to your next set, which is Shop Jewel. Here again, just £19.99. You've got the wonderful gold, the anthracite, emerald green, and of course that bright fuchsia inside there. We then go down to your third set in the series, which is Shop Rich. This is again £19.99. This here for you has your wonderful diamond, glorious colour. You've got your cyclamen inside there as well as your amethyst and your sax blue. £19.99 for those ones as well. And then down at the bottom there, your spring polished colours. You've got your wonderful jade, you've got inside there your aqua, you've got that antique lilac, and then you've got that soft champagne. That there for you is Shop Polish at £19.99. Just a little look at some of the finished articles you can see here as well. Starting to work with our paints. It is a glorious, seamless airbrush finish that you can achieve with all of these colours to create stunning glassware projects. This can be applied not only onto glass but onto ceramics too. You can see on the top here with this cork lid, I actually painted it directly onto the cork. So you can, if you want to, go onto other surfaces. Of course, it's permanent on glassware, but for a decorative finish, you still can go onto your softer surfaces too. So don't worry about that. You can do all sorts with it. In fact, that little blend that we created between the two of those, we'll do that in a few moments for you. But look at these that we created this morning. How stunning is this little set of wine glasses? Those, in any colourway, imagine those as Christmas presents. We like those, don't we, Amanda? I think they're really cool. They're proper funky. And again, you could do a full gift set with something like this. We've got all the glassware on the show for you as well, so you can stock up on all of your favourite surfaces. Something that's really stood out to me as well, being a firm favourite, is of course your Shop Glass at $14.99. These are your two 15cm square glass plates. Work exquisitely with your glass paints. We'll try and squeeze in a demo working onto the back of those for you as well and show you it half and half, so you can really see the difference with the working in those paints. We've got Shop Candle for you as well, £11.99 for these ones. Two of your squared candle jars, which are really easy to work onto because you've got that flat surface. Okay, flat surface for you to work onto gives you incredible stenciling. Okay, it means you're not working around a curve. Shop Candle for those, £11.99. Okay. We do, of course, also have those wonderful plates for you. This here is Shop Plates. £12.99 for the pair of these. You're going to get a 2-pack. Now, I would definitely suggest going for 2 of these bundles. You're then going to get a complete dinner set, okay? They are huge inside. These are like when you go to that restaurant and they bring you that huge plate. You know when you go for your larger one at the carvery? This is like one of those, the proper big size plates. And as well, they're rectangular. They've got that wonderful scalloped wavy edge as well. These would look great in your home, decorated, upcycled, or you just buy them because you like them as they are. Entirely up to you. Shop Plates for those, £12.99. We do have those glass jars as well that I was just working on too. We've got your smaller and your larger one. Now your small here is Shop 4. That is your 400ml one, and that is £6.99 for this. We also as well here have your 600ml. Oh, Andrew's got a question.
Could you use those for candles?
Absolutely, you could do. I would always recommend with these just a singular wick. It's a thinner glass, but it's a single stem wick inside there would look exquisite. Great, of course, for candles. They would look wonderful. Think about that, and as well, think about this week, because on Thursday, we have a brand new candle medium launching, which makes clear candles. Clear candles, okay? It's amazing. So it's like candle wax, but completely transparent. I cannot wait to share that with you. That's launching on Thursday, I think, at 8 AM. If you can't join us for that one, we're also back in the evening with it. So you've got your 400ml and your 600ml glass jars there. Shop 4, of course, for your smaller one, £6.99. Shop 6 for your larger, it's £7.99. We then do have your set of 6 dessert glass jars as well. These are great for small votive gifts. Would be a nice little tea light holder or a little candle as well, which would be really cute with a bit of ribbon around it as a wonderful gift. That there has your sealable jar lid on it as well, so if you're making your jams and your desserts, keeps it nice, of course, as well as being sealed. They look glorious with glass paint on. Little blending projects for you to do at home. All 6 of those for $8.99. Okay. Again, those glass plates that I did just use within that last demonstration, shop dish $9.99. Great price for 2 extra large glass plates there. You can see the value for money that you're getting inside these ones. The 35 centimeters by, of course, 17, so you've got a great size to work with on there. Wonderful soft beveled glass edges as well, so they're not sharp. They're great to do on with your stenciling, your mirror spray, your rice paper, all those different surfaces. Okay, so shall we have a little look at our paints again? Shall we have a little look in our demo area? I'm going to read some comments as well. Please keep me company, keep them coming through whilst I do a little bit of a clean up, because I've created quite a bit of chaos around here, as I always do, of course. Let's have a little look, shall we? Could you give all your mismatched glassware and you... Yes, you could give all... Yes, you're saying could you? You could. Give all your mismatched glassware a new lease of life. Think about it. Sometimes if you've got a set of glasses and one couple of them break and you get an odd number left, make a lovely display of them all. Paint them all. Give them a purposeful, meaningful life. And that's what we're all about with Cadence. It's upcycling, it's rejuvenation, it's reuse, and it's enjoyment of craft itself. I'm going to put my roller in my water because I know what's going to happen. It's going to be like a piece of cement by the end of the show. So, what we're going to do now is have a look with, of course, some more of our stenciling. So I'm going to grab one of my background stencils. Let's have a look. Which one shall we use? So, Shop Honey, fully allocated. Shop Background for you here. Which one do we like? Okay, I love them all. It's really hard to choose, everybody. Need some help in the comments. In fact, actually, I know what we could do. I have got a vase here. And this is a wonderful flat surface, okay? So what I'm going to do is show you that with our stencils, how you can use those floral borders to create wonderful stencil design, okay? So with all of our stencils, I'm going to bring my pack over here, select my ones I'm going to work with for you, and I'll tell you which ones I'm working with, of course. So I've got here all of those wonderful borders. Now, any one of these is going to create a stunning effect, but I'm going to grab one that's got loads of detail in it, and quite a tall one as well. This one here is great. So here I'm using one of my stencils from Shop Floral, and what I'm going to do is go directly onto the bottom of the glass. So I'm going to work upside down so you can see what's happening with this. So I could pick any point of this and it's going to come up our glass. So we're going to use our stencil spray, of course, in here. I've cleaned my glass vase, so that's all ready to go. I'm going to go around here with my bin. Of course, I love to get the bin in so you can see what's going on there. There we are. Stencil spray, back of the stencil. Give it a quick waft. We want to let it set and let it dry, and then it's nice and tacky. Don't need to mask off any areas with this one because I'm going over the edge of my glass. So what I'm going to do is do, and again, a lovely blend with this. Then I'm also going to show you how to do an even blend with a singular piece of sponge across a two-tone colourway, so we'll do that afterwards. So in with our stencil, going to pick some colours to work with. This is an exquisite one, okay? So let's work with this for our grasses, okay? And blend it through into our florals. Going to pick up some of that. So this would be great as a springtime project as well. Let's have a look at this antique lilac too. I'm going to take some of this out. Now, if you get a new pot, you can easily just pierce it with your thumb like that and push the foil back, and that's it nice and open for you. That's what I tend to usually always do. You don't need to mix or stir these paints, okay? There's no separation involved with those. Take some fresh cut a new sponge. I'm just going to find my scissors. Scissors, there they are. There we go. As you can see, it's all building up. There's plenty of chaos going on here. There always is. It's a little bit like an insight. It's what my desk is like on a usual day. Let's have a little look. Carol's back with her coffee and her biscuits. Oh, what biscuit have you got today? Let us know what your choice of biscuit is. Go on, Amanda. What's your favourite biscuit? Gosh, life and death situation here.
Chocolate digestive or ginger nut.
Oh gosh, it sounded like you held it. Yeah, I lost hostage with that. A ginger nut or a chocolate digestive. Don't worry, there's no wrong answer. I couldn't agree more with you.
Jammy
I love
Dodger.
it. Who?
Jammy Dodger.
I thought it was Roger. Jammy Dodger in there as well. Let us know what your choice of biscuit would be. Carol, what biscuits have you got? Let me know. Okay, so we're going to go in now with our wonderful jade colour from our polish collection. And I'm going straight through from the bottom of our image, capturing even elements of the stencil that of course are overlapping into the glassware, okay? Picking up more metallics, blending it through, okay? Working into the design. Now, as I start to reach about this point here, I'm going to start to bring in our floral tone that we're going to work with, okay? And what I'm going to do is do a two-coat process whilst the stencil is still in place, which of course you can do. Don't worry, you don't always have to take it away to dry it. You can still wash your stencil down afterwards because we're not going to cure it. I'm then going to go in with this wonderful bright maroon that we had a look from our lavish collection, which I think goes really nicely with that jade. Look at those two colours there together. I think they're absolutely gorgeous, so complementary. So we're going to do this and then we're going to do some detailing with our brush freehand. So take some of that maroon out. I'm going to pop that, let's have a look, pop that just here. Picked a spot to work with on my mat. I know, you'd think it would be almost impossible. There we go, a little bit of that, don't need much. And then we're going to start to pick up some of this. There we are, and blend this into our design as well. Look at that colour, it is gorgeous. Now you might think, how do you do two coats if you've done a blend? Because surely you have to recreate the blend. I'm going to show you. It's really, really easy. So, to the tops of these sprigs with that maroon colour coming through really nicely, and then going to pick up just a little bit more of that jade to cross them over in the centre, which creates a slightly darker maroon. Okay. Now I'm at the stage where I'm ready to dry. Okay. So, I'm going to go over the top with my hairdryer just to dry off the glassware whilst our stencil's still in place. Okay. Oh, Karen says my favourite biscuits are ginger snaps. Ooh, very nice. We've also got in there digestives with butter on. Carol's got digestives with butter on. That's something I've not tried before. Oh, maybe a bit of cheese as well. Oh, and well, chocolate hobnobs, right? That's what, of course, Andrew's saying in the comments. Loads of you. Oh, Jane loves a chocolate finger biscuits, but usually end up eating a full packet. Me too. You can't just have one, can you? That's just criminal. You have to have the whole lot. Can't leave a few on their own as well. That's just not fair. I'm going to go back in now with that wonderful maroon colour, okay? Picking that up from the top, and notice how we're getting that full coverage with this. Okay, we've gone in with that second coat. And then what we're going to do is I'm actually going to use a separate sponge now. I'm going to go back to my cut and use and select a different piece and work in with that wonderful jade because I don't want to muddy the bottom of my image. I want to use the neat colour on its own. We used our first sponge for our blend, and it just keeps our colours separate from both ends, but then still allows us to create that wonderful blend again in the middle. So we're almost repeating the process we did in the first layer, but in the opposite way. There we are, look at that. And then when we take this away, we're left with glorious stenciling on our glassware. And the beauty of this paint is you get absolutely no bleed at all. It stays so contained into the area. It's so effortless to work with as well and create. Now, whilst that dries, we could do a few more edges of that. What I want to share with you, of course, with that paint is the blendability in with a single sponge. Now, what I like to do is I'm going to grab my 400ml jar for this one. I'm going to use just the cap of that paint to hold it in place. And I'm looking here and I'm just going to take a little snip with my cut and use sponge that's the same length as that jar. Okay, so I'm going to cut down here lengthways and create just a strip. Okay, there we go, just like that. This paint here, it's pretty much almost dry for us, but we're going to work here instead. Let's make it easier. So now this sponge is now cut to just slightly longer than the length of our jar, which means we can create the perfect blend. Now again, I think I'm going to work with that black because the colour is so intense and strong. It looks exquisite on the project. I'm just going to find it. There it is. Lost where I put it then. Now I'm going to be conscious now that as I'm holding this glassware like that, I'm on probably the black at the bottom going into the lighter colour. So I want to place my black on this side and my contrasting colour on the other. And I'm more inclined to use that one now. I think those two would look nice together. What do you reckon? Oh, Amanda wants us to go pink. Which pink do you want? The cyclamen? This one? Oh, okay. Want to go with this pink, it's like an antique lilac colour. So we're going to pop that on our mat. Let's go with that. And then we're also going to use our black. Now this is very dark to very light, so it's going to be really interesting to see the result that we get here. So with these, what we then do is we take our sponge and build up the blend first, okay? So I'm dipping into my sponge here and I'm going to drag it down like this, okay? And then we're going to start to fuzz the two colours together like that. and then start to pounce. And look at that, it's creating the perfect blend between those, and I get a fine line in the center, okay? Pick up a bit more paint, grab it and bring it down and load it up again. Start to cross over a little bit of the two, so you're really starting to fade them into one another, and it's creating almost like a silver in the center. Take this to your glassware, holding it of course in the same direction as your paint, and start to then stipple on here, and it will transfer that very blend you've created on the sponge directly to your glass. Look at that. Instantly going onto there. Now I'm going to do half of this, dry it, and then do the other half. But look at how quick and easy that was to create the perfect blend on our glass, just like that. It's exquisite. So now a nice thin layer has been applied. Let's dry this off, okay, just to the front. Oh, Dan says Scottish shortbread, but only seems to be available at Christmas here in Australia. Oh, it's Australia. Oh, are you in Australia, Dan? Wow, cool. Hello to you in Australia. Open a packet of, if you open a packet, it might go stale. What a waste. Eat them all and enjoy them. Do you know what? That's a great motto to live by. Also, someone told me when you break them in half, the calories fall out. So, great tip as well. Not just for painting today, you name it, the whole lot. Love a good biscuit, absolutely. I love a pack of biscuits. With a cup of tea, it's just lethal. Right, so I'm going on here with my heat, drying this up, and what we're doing is evaporating all of the moisture that's within inside that paint at the moment, because of course it's a water-based paint. Now, as if I just go in and gently tap on the surface, I can already feel it's gone off, but it feels soft, okay? And that's a weird sort of description to use, but I can feel if I was to push into the paint, I would leave an impression, okay? It feels ever so slightly soft, almost like the surface of a candle. We want it to be nice and dry and not be sticky, okay? So I'm continuing to work around on here. On the inside of the glass is a good way as well, because you can see on the inside of there as well the blend that's being created from the reverse. But drying the glassware from the inside heats up the glass, making sure that the surface stays nice and warm and dries it. Then what I'm going to do is rotate it round so I can hold it now on the painted side and bring back in my paints. Now back in with the pink and the black and continue to add more paint. We used a portion of our paint there, so we want to just load up our sponge again and continue to work round, and you can see there how it will then match up with where we started. So blend that first coat into the second and then work our way around. I'm going to rotate it in my hands like that, there we go, and then pick up in this second section, and look at that, so easy. Now we're going to bring a bit of the lilac down into the black colour to create that almost silvery colour in the centre, making sure to pick up a bit more paint wherever you're starting to get scarce with your colours, and then just continue to load up and apply. It would be wonderful. Now these would be great for your Easter tables. I mean, having things like this, like handmade candle jars, little votives, are something you can always sell throughout the year as well. Just make sure as well when you're putting your sponge down, always rest it either on top of the mix section, but don't leave it of course in the wrong colour, because then you're going to have to wash it out and start again. So a little bit like loading your brushes up with Stephanie on her painting, okay? You always don't want to make sure you muddy that brush before you've finished your blend. Now look at that. As I continue to work into this, going back into the design, rotate it round. I'm just using my finger underneath there just to rotate it round. I'm now creating that airbrushed look, okay? It creates that sort of tacky finish on the surface, but it creates a wonderful blend within the paint. It is just seamless, okay? It's so beautiful, isn't it? So let's give it a quick dry, okay? I'm going to dry it off. And of course you could paint on the bottom of this black, so if I turn that round, and as we're drying the edges, we can then use this side of the sponge here just to paint the bottom of it with the black, so it completely seals it all in for us, because of course that colour towards the base is black anyway, so we can finish that section there off to give it a nice coat, nice finish just there. And then let's dry the whole project together. As easy as that, guys. So easy to create this, and that's what I always love to try and be able to share with you during these shows, is that you can work with a multitude of products, loads of different substrates, bring in your stencils, bring in your paints, and make it achievable for everybody. It would be no good me sharing with you a product and not sharing with you the secrets of how you get the effects. It's all about that knowledge, which is so important with Cadence, and of course that is what we here love to share with you. So I'm just going around with that heat tool. Just get your trusty hairdryer out, okay? Give it a blast, just to make sure that moisture's come off. Now what I would do because we've just painted this, even if I'd left it to dry for a couple of hours, I wouldn't turn it upside down until 24 hours has passed, because we wouldn't want it to stick to the table before it's cured, okay? If you were to leave this now upside down like that, overnight straight away, it'll stick and you peel it off and you might pull your paint away because it's not cured. But that there, if I put my hands inside it, look at that. It is tremendous. The coverage, even on the base of it as a single coat, you've got your glassware painted with an even blend the whole way around. Now, whilst that dries, I'm just going to recap your paints for you so you can, of course, get hold of these. What's that, Amanda?
What's it look like inside?
Oh, inside. Let's have a look. Inside there, you can see your wonderful paint. It's just stunning. It's honestly amazing. That lilac and the black together is a great combination. Love that. So, of course, your paints there, you can see all of them there together. Oh, that coffee's clapped gold now. You've got all of those paints all on that stand. Build up your entire collection. For those of you who have just joined us as well, thank you so much for staying with us. Of course, shopping with us. Sometimes we do recap this during the show for you. Shopping with us is really easy. If you want to get these in your basket, all you need to do is type into the comments below, shop lavish, or shop the code that we're sharing with you, okay? The process of shopping with us here is so easy. It means that anybody, whether you're on social media, join us on the website, of course, you can get the products that you see on this show to your front door at great prices. Now, type that into the comments. Go straight to your messages after you've done so. And of course, you'll see a link in there. Click on that link. It'll send you straight over to the Highlight Crafts website. Now, we are also streaming live on the website as well. You can, of course, shop ahead with your favorite products, get ahead of the time, get your deals in, because it is, why do I keep looking at my watch? My watch says, look, it's 9:15. I don't think that's not even an hour behind. I don't know what's gone on with that. I was doing a bit of gardening yesterday. Maybe I don't know. So, we have for you all of the paints. Let's have a look. Shop Lavish, £19.99. Okay? The black, the maroon, the chestnut and the dark turquoise are going to be coming to you. If I just share with you the base of those all there together, look absolutely exquisite, all in one harmony, all in one collection. That there for you is Shop Lavish. And again, you do have a £3.97 saving on that one. You're going to also get your additional discounts on top of these bundle prices as well, of course, if you log into your Highlight Crafts account. Your next bundle is Shop Jewel. Now, Shop Jewel for you in here is going to get you your wonderful antique gold. You then also have that wonderful anthracite. You've got your emerald and you've got your bright fuchsia. That there is Shop Jewel at £19.99. In here too, we have got your diamond. We also have your cyclamen, your amethyst and your sax blue. You're right there, Amanda. Oh, this has risen up, hasn't it? Oh dear, I just hate it when it rides up like that. And then we've got for you as well that gorgeous polished collection. I am talking about the waistband of my apron, guys, by the way. So then we've got your jade. I look like a chef. And then you've got your aqua, you've got your antique lilac and your champagne. All of those you can cross-pollinate your colours together for whatever different surfaces. If you're going onto mugs, if you're going onto china, if you're going onto glassware, if you're going onto all of your ceramics, glazed or unglazed, you can put these in the oven to cure them, or wait the 21-day period as well, which is your cooling off time to let them cure at room temperature. And again, we did these at the start of our show. Wonderful glassware set using those fabulous Dora glass paints. I mean, look at the blend that has been achieved on there. It is absolutely exquisite. Now, that is your perfect gift set straight away for you. It is wonderful. Just make sure you're washing your glass thoroughly before you start. Again, a few comments, okay, coming through for you. Oh, Lynn says, everything you do is amazing, David. Thank you for a fantastic show. That's really kind of you. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys at home. So thank you so much for joining us. And the comments do mean an awful lot. So thank you so much, everybody. As well, Cheryl says, as all the information and techniques is a lot to try and remember at the beginning without David talking us through them. We try them out. Oh, well, Cheryl, that's what I'm here for. Okay. Oh, Miss Lorna Crosby says, question, please. When do we find out what is needed for the first class, please? You're going to get an update very, very soon. I believe it is either going to be with you today or tomorrow. You're going to get all the information that you need for your classes, okay? And the videos are going to be released imminently, okay? Which is wonderful. That, of course, is for your Cadence Club. Now, we're going to move on to your stencils here and share with you. I'm going to go grab one because one's missing from there. Let me bring it back for you guys. There we go. Looking at your stencils, our shop honey is now fully allocated and sold out, but we do have for you shop background. This one's a bit sparkly, like that on there. So this here is your background stencil collection. £19.99 today is all that you're spending to get hold of this wonderful set of 6 background stencils. Awful lot of texture inside here, great amount of detail. You've got your crackled surf, which is almost like your dry desert land where it's so dehydrated. We only have 5 left of this bundle, everybody, okay? So you've got to be quick to get hold of these. I can see here on my iPad that most certainly is more than 5 of you watching right now. So there's not enough for everybody, okay? You've got your spiderweb crackle on here. Ooh, cake slice.
Wood slice.
Sorry, man, I was thinking of cake. You've also inside here got your wonderful marbled effect. You in there have these. Look at this as well. You've got like your playing cards inside this one. That is a wonderful finish. Not got that in any of our stencils. This one here with those wonderful details running through that pinstripe, and then you've got your background texture with all of your wording on as well. Now as well, we do have an additional 2 sets. That there was shop background for you. Now if I just take all these bits and bobs off of here, you'll actually be able to see what's underneath these ones, won't you? So I've covered it all up. Look at this. Told you. When I'm on my own for 2 hours, it's unavoidable. It should be called Monday Mayhem, not Monday Makeover. There we go. So let's just clear this up, shall we, so you can see what you're getting. Because the next one for you is Shop Bird, okay? This is your florals border collection with your birds, of course, just fluttering by into the scene. Inside there, you're going to get all of that wonderful texture of the floral designs. Great for, of course, just adding the accent of a border into the base of a project like we did here on our glorious glassware on this vase. How wonderful as a gift would this be? Now again, so I'm moving it around everywhere and Amanda's chasing me around like a fly. So you've got all of your wonderful floral borders inside there. That there for you gets you all 6 of those for £34.97. Chase it, Amanda. Chase it. And then we also have for you your florals. Now inside here you get another set of 6 florals all together. Great for working with your heat transfer medium as well, which would look great from Cadence. That launched last week, it has all gone. But if you want to look a few people to get hold of it, that there for you is Shop Floral, £34.99. It is a glorious paint. Now that one there we didn't even hair dry. Look at that, how it's dried onto the back of here. It's a flawless finishing paint. It is tremendous. Now you're going to get all of your floral designs in here, from your wreath, your sunflowers, your flower heads, your borders, your foliage, your stems, the lot, okay? 6 designs in there, all brand new stencils for you to launch with a brand new selection of paints, which is a glorious place to be today. Shall we have a little look at some more of our paints? Shall we have a look? Okay, we're going to squeeze as many demos as we can in for you today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear my decks, pop a little bit of all this stuff to the sides, because I've created quite the pile, haven't I? But should we do another bit of blending on some of our glassware? And whilst we've got these 2 colours out, let's work with them, shall we?
There's a question from Janet.
Oh, Janet, I've got a question. Let me go and get the fire pad. There we go, getting it over here. Thank you for getting in touch, Janet. So let's have a look. Janet J says, can you advise me, please? Is the green jar painted then sprayed with the mirror spray? Oh, okay. So let's have a look at our jars over there, and I'll share with you the process of what I've done with these. Thanks, Amanda. So this one here, this green jar, I painted the inside of this with a brush, okay? So that there has got brush strokes on the inside with our jar. I didn't paint the outside. The outside is just your glass finish. Painted the inside with my brush. This one here, though, is just mirror spray. Okay, so inside of there, I've just mirror sprayed it with, of course, our Cadence mirror spray. And it's given us that wonderful finish, and the stencil is on the outside of the glassware. So that there is your paint inside the glass, that is your paint outside the glass. So 2 completely different ways of being able to visualize it. You can see it looks different if displayed in different areas. If I bring this plate down to you here, you can see again, this was painted on the back of the glassware. I went in with my stenciled image first with that wonderful jade colour. I then went in with that dark turquoise as well. So you can see how you can create different stunning finishes with layering them either on front or on the back. So you can see on the reverse of there, that wonderful, wonderful airbrush finish. It looks nice either side, but again, through the glass, you get that wonderful glossy finish of the glassware, whilst also getting that polish from the paint. Pop this back on there. There we go. So I hope that covers that for you, Janet. Again, any questions like that, please just get in touch and let us know, and we'll get them answered for you during the live shows for you here today. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, sit my sponge in some water, and I'm going to get some more fresh pieces of sponge out to play with. And we're going to work onto one of our little wine glasses. Okay, so just snip under the corner of my sponge here. All, of course, is fully washable, so we continue to use these. It's a brilliant product. You'll find it all on the website as well. Lots of products that I'm using during the show. Do check out the website for the remainder of those. There's plenty to share with you. These look quite cute, don't they? Should we have a look at one of these? Or everyone's got a set of these at home, a set of Prosecco or champagne glasses. Let's cover the top with some paint and, of course, with some tape, just to, of course, seal off that top layer, all right? So I'm going in with my washi tape, just like this, just to make sure I've got myself a sealed area to start with, just like that. And then just curl that in, okay? So when I sit it down, it's not sticking to my mat. Now I'm going to go in with that wonderful lilac first, okay? Starting with the lilac all the way around. Now this is going to look absolutely glorious. Can you imagine this as a full set in your home? And the thing is as well, when you decorate this glassware, when you decorate these pieces, nobody else has them. They're unique to you, okay? No one else has exactly those projects at home. Only you can create them with those paints. And of course, making and selling with all of these paints, absolutely you can do, and with the glassware and items on our show. Don't worry or hesitate. If you're doing your craft fairs, you can sell with reassurance as well, passing on the knowledge to your customers that it will not flake, chip off, and that it's been cured in the oven, or of course at room temperature if it's a thinner glass. But so easy to create these finishes and flawless effects. Now, on glass like this with all the indentations, I'm just skimming over with the sponge, which is giving it a really nice light dusting of the paint, okay? So over here, rotating the stem round in my hands, and look at that, okay? Absolutely beautiful finish. Now on this one, I'm not going to paint the stem. I'm going to leave the stem crystal, okay? Which means I'm going to take a little bit of tape, just around here like that, okay? Don't need more than that, so I'm just going to curl that over, wrap that around the stem, and then I'm going to tuck that in, just to pinch that tape there, okay? We're going to give this a quick blast with our hairdryer. Let's go in with our heat and just continue to rotate it round as we're drying it. There we are. Oh, Barbara says, oh, David, you're so talented and enjoy all of your shows. That's really kind of you. Thank you so much. Don't go anywhere, though, because after this show, we have got, coming up around the corner for you, the lovely Stephanie with some of this trasparente. That's the one. Flowers. Tiramisu. Swarovski tiramisu. It's a fabulous product, and we have got a little bit left of it for you. So don't go anywhere, because at 1 o'clock Stephanie's going to be taking you through an hour with your Swarovski trasparente. It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait to watch that show. It's going to be fabulous. And the lovely Stephanie is doing it. Of course, the lovely Mel isn't here today. She's on holiday today. She's having a well-earned rest, okay? So Stephanie's going to have a go at giving you some wonderful results with those fabulous heat-reactive florals. I'm going to go back in with, of course, that wonderful paint. I've accidentally put my sponge down into my black. So what I'm going to do is just really force that colour out. There we go. And go back in now with that antique lilac, okay? And look at that. It is a beautiful spring colour. This would be a wonderful Mother's Day present, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. Still time. It doesn't have to be just on Mother's Day. That's what my mum always says. So what I'm going to do, yeah, oh, of course. So what I'm going to do is continue to dust around the glassware here with that beautiful colour of that lilac. It looks beautiful. I think it's actually now my favourite colour. It's so delicate, it's so gentle. But now we're going to go in with a deep tone. Okay, so we're going to start to bring in that black. Okay, start to really mix it on your palette first before you bring in your sponge to your project. And I'm going to mix it across the bottom like this, okay? So we're going to mix it around the base of the glass, just like that, and start to carry it up just a little bit, bringing it up through the cut detail. Isn't this just stunning? So as we're bringing it up through the detail, the colour, of course, is ever so slightly diluting. We're getting less pigmentation because we're allowing the colour to fade out. We're not carrying it through in deep consistency, which is giving us a really subtle blend. Now I'm going to work through with it just into where I get those V lines in the cut glass, okay? So I'm not going to be super intense with it. and I don't want to overpower that colour because I think it's very gentle. I wouldn't want to. Now, any areas like this, I'm just going to brush those back ever so slightly, and I'm going to go back over there with lilac. Just didn't want it to be too strong there. There we go, and look at that. Now, a little bit more of the black just around the base of the glass to really just intensify that very bottom section, just like that, and look at this. That is gorgeous. It really, really is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly blast this with my heat tool again. Keep saying heat tool, it is a hairdryer, guys. It's a really easy tool to work with, but it is a crafter's best friend. And then, now that we're giving it a quick blast with our heat, I'm going to take the tape across the top off. There we go. Then we're going to take our tape off that we wrapped around the neck, just like that. And there we have a beautifully decorated champagne flute for you to display in your home for your parties or just to drink out of as an occasional treat. I think they would look wonderful as a gift. Those two with a bottle of bubbly together, wonderful present for anniversaries. Would be great maybe as well if you're doing something like an anniversary or an event or a baby shower, gender reveal, all different colours. How nice would they look? Now, it doesn't have to be your finest crystalware. It could be really inexpensive glassware too. You can still amp it up. That is the beauty of Cadence, to create these stunning, stunning finishes and effects. Let's have a look as well. Even on something like this, you could carry the colour down. It could be a shallow one that would look glorious. But onto our little square candle jars like this, let's have a look on the side of one of these, shall we? So I'm going to go in with one of my stencils. Let's have a look. Let's pick from our florals a little dainty daisy design. So I'm going to go in with, let's see, got those wonderful glorious sunflowers on here, which are just, the impact those would create would be amazing. I mean, look at them. Could put one of them on there. That would look really nice. Where are our little daisies? Let's find some of those though, shall we? Here we go. So let's take one of these daisy heads and pop that right in the middle and do a lovely blend. Andrew's got a question for us.
If you paint the glass, can the etching cream be used after?
That's a great question. What I would suggest doing is if you wanted the etching cream process to be incorporated into your Dora glassware projects, use the etching cream first because that takes the surface of the glass off, okay? So say for example you go onto your glassware, use your etching cream first. You would use it maybe on the outside or something like this, and then you could put your Dora paints on the inside of it. So your etching is the outer edge and your inside is the paint. But of course you wouldn't want to cover the etched surface with your glass paint, okay? So always outside with your etching cream, inside with your paint, or of course in separate places or separate areas, but you would naturally just cover it up with the paint if not. So definitely etching cream first, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to select that little daisy in that corner. I'm just going to spray over my bin. There we go. Just like that. And we're going to go to our little candle jar because this would look really sweet just with a little blend on, okay? Let's bring our floral just into there, and you can see how working on a flat surface is great. It's a great starter surface to work onto. Let's go on with the colour we've not explored yet. And the floral, you might be thinking, well, let's do it bright purple or pink or something like that. I'm going to go in with this chestnut because it's a really, really nice colour to look at. I'm just going to pop the seal. There we go. Just like that, and bring my foil and nip it back to the edge and go onto my paint palette. There we are. Look at that stunning, absolutely glorious colour that we've got there. Back into my cut and use sponge. Take a bit of sponge on here, and I've used my sponge for every single project here today because I love the coverage that it gives, and Cadence do suggest to use one of these. There's nothing stopping you though going in and detailing freehand or painting with it in your own style and your own way. Now I'm going to go directly onto the top here with this glorious chestnut colour. Just putting little impressions. I've not masked off any areas. I'm not too sure. Honestly, I'm not too bothered about any areas being slightly over the edge. Just blending in with this to give us a stunning finish, a stunning effect. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that away. Look at that wonderful image that we've got there on our glassware. So crisp and detailed. I'm then just going to take the end of a paintbrush. Okay, I'm going to get a nice fine one to do this. Let's have a look. And then all I'm going to do is go into a wonderful aqua colour here and just do some little specks, some little dots around, just for accents, just for detailing on the surface. Okay, bring that towards you. There you go, you can see it. And I'm just going to make little dots all around on the surface, little domed dots with the end of our paintbrush. Just to finish this off now, these are going to stay ever so slightly dimensional for us, which again will still give us nice texture. It will still cure in the same way. You just want to leave this one a little bit longer to dry before you do cure it, okay? So I'm just going in, doing all these little speckles all the way over. There we are, just like that. And it's so relaxing, it's so easy to do. You could even do some in the centre of the flowers, colour on colour, and that therefore is a bit of stenciling onto your glassware jars as well as your plates. We've done loads of different surfaces during today's show. We've managed to cover quite a lot, quite literally. There's been so much to explore, but of course we are just round the corner in this room with Stephanie next, that's going to be taking you through the next hour. I need to get that watch fixed at 1 o'clock. Okay, thank you so much for staying with me. Please do not forget to check out your baskets though. If it's in your basket, you've got to go check out now, okay, to make sure it's yours. We've had Stencil sell out during the shows. The paints are dwindling in stock as well, but it's been a wonderful 2 hours to spend with you all. Thank you so much for your time today and happy crafting. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you later on. I'm back tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.